You're watching Around Town with Henry Dormann.
Around Town is sponsored by Chemung Canal Trust Company. They're really nice people. Trust is their middle name. Service is their motto. And I like them a lot, and that's why I bank there. If you ever come by to look me up, I'll be in the vault. Safe place. Now is the time when I'm going to get some really sharp information, because we're at the Guthrie Clinic, and this is Dr. Mason Stilwell, who is one of the I was going to say operators, but I should say surgeons in back pain and orthopedics. And I'm glad I'm here because I have now, at my age, back here, I get this for free here today. For free, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because we're on television. What I heard back here.
The thing is, I don't do a lot of back pain, but I do a lot of hip and knee replacement surgery.
And arthritis, because my wife has a terrible case of arthritis. But this comes with age, does it?
Yeah, it does, yes. Arthritis is partially genetic, and some of it's wear and tear.
You're very young to be so important.
Well, thank you. Some days I don't feel that way, but.
Do you suffer from any orthopedic pain? Orthopedic pain? Gee whiz. See how nervous I am?
Yeah, I do. I have occasional problems with my knees.
With your knee? And what do you do for it?
Oh, just tough it out most of the time.
What should people do? There must be a lot of people out there that have pains, and they, like my wife is one, for instance. She has terrible arthritic pains, but she will not have an operation. She's scared to death of going under the knife.
Sure, and that's understandable. You know, in most cases, the beginning with pain, you want to start off with conservative therapy, so we usually recommend using Tylenol, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, modalities like heat and ice. Occasionally, we'll send people to physical therapy. Initially, it's good to consult with a family practice physician. They can start some of that stuff, initiate the physical therapy, and if further referrals are needed, the orthopedics department's happy to see those patients.
What about exercise?
Exercise is good. You want to pay attention to the things that make things hurt. Obviously, if there's an exercise that's not conducive to your pain, you want to modify your activities so that you don't experience that. But it is very good to keep moving. A lot of the studies show with arthritis that walking and keeping the joints moving is beneficial.
What do you do?
What do I do? Well,
yeah. How do you stay in shape? How come you're not fat?
Well, I try and eat right, and I go to the gym and try and stay healthy.
And what do you do as far as exercise is concerned?
I walk, ride bike, lift
so
some
just
weights.
Keep moving. Do you find patients are difficult sometimes?
Yeah, I would say.
Now we're going to find out the real inside story. Tell us the inside story of some difficult patients and how you've been able to help them and make them better.
Well, I think sometimes with difficult patients it takes multiple visits. You sort of have to earn their trust, kind of figure out what their needs are. You know, in most cases, I think after establishing a good relationship with the patient, they're very happy to let you take care of them and treat their problems.
Well, they trust you.
Correct.
That's the whole point.
Right. Yep.
When somebody needs to get information, where do they contact you?
Our department here, you can contact our secretaries for an appointment. We also regionalize to several regional offices, so I do go to Ithaca and see patients in Ithaca. I do go to an office in Big Flats and see patients there, and also in Owego. So.
Guthrie has a place in Ithaca?
Correct.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
You're kind of everywhere.
We do, yeah. We try
You're
and
big.
branch out.
Is that too big?
At times it can be challenging, but I enjoy my work, and it's nice to get to the different areas and treat the different populations.
And you get to see a lot of the countryside.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you live in the area here?
I do, yeah. I actually grew up in Ithaca, or Trumansburg, New York, outside of Ithaca, and but I live here now.
The thought of Guthrie as this huge facility that has state-of-the-art machines and all kinds of things that would cost millions and millions of dollars. Is it too big to give personal service? How do you correct something like that?
I don't think it's too big to give personal service. I think here, you know, obviously it starts kind of with the patient and doctor relationship, and I think we all establish good relationships with our patients here. You know, and obviously it's sort of it's a big place, but it's a kind of a rural hospital with a lot of resources, and I think it's very comfortable for a lot of patients to come here and receive their care.
Now, this was easy, wasn't it? You're not nervous, are you?
A little bit.
No, this is simple. There are only, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of people watching.
Oh, yeah, no worries.
But they're nice people.
Yes.
And they should all be clients of yours in the future.
That'd be great.
Are you expensive?
Not bad. Reasonably priced.
And it's usually with the insurance.
Yeah, I don't really get into much of the financials on that. So
That must be nice. You just cure people.
Yeah,
And you don't
that's-
worry about the rest of it.
that's why I went into medicine, and that's why I work in a place like this, so I can focus on patients and taking care of people, and other people can figure out the finances.
This has been a dream of yours
Yeah, yeah,
from when you were a kid.
yeah, pretty much.
Orthopedics?
Medicine, I think orthopedics I sort of decided on later on, around the time I graduated college.
You know, I had a friend, Dr. James Nicholas, who was an orthopedic surgeon at Lenox Hill in New York, and he operated on President Kennedy, and he was also the doctor for John. And he was telling me, after all of this was right and he could speak about it because it had already been published, that John had hurt his knee, and he told him, don't fly, don't do anything that uses that knee. But he did anyway, and went down. This is a terrible responsibility when patients don't follow your advice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously people are kind of responsible for their own actions. I think in most cases they listen to the things that we say, but yeah, it can be difficult.
Are you operating today?
I am today,
You are when?
right after this interview.
Really? Are you well rested?
I am,
Are you?
yeah.
Smart guy. And should they ask for you to make an appointment, or
Yeah.
do they ask for your secretary or your nurse?
They would actually ask for the secretary to have an appointment with me.
And the number again?
It's going to be 570-887-2841.
607 code?
Or what is the number here? 570, sorry, yeah. 570-887-2841.
We want to ensure they get you.
That's right.
Good. Well, I want to thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
We have to go now because he's got a big operation. I'm not going to be able to see this, but you'll be able to actually be operated on by him yourself if you call up and make an appointment. I'm trying to bring business.
Very good.
All right. We'll see you. I'm going to go and be treated now. Not an operation, that's coming later. But I'm in pretty good shape, I think.
I think so.
With a couple. You think so?
Yeah.
Got to see him more often. Bye-bye. We'll see you here. Guthrie.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic.
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
WENY is dedicated to news in our community with an award-winning team focused on stories that impact the Twin Tiers. Awarded by the New York Associated Press for Best News Series, Best Investigative Reporting, Best Enterprise Reporting, Best Spot News, Best Public Service, Best Documentary, Best Sports Coverage, Best Use of Photography, Best Weathercast, Best Feature, and Grand Prize, Outstanding News Operation for award-winning and complete news coverage that matters to you. Turn to WENY News. Like WENY News on Facebook for all your news, weather, and sports updates.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
This is a dungeon. We're down deep underneath a bunch of stores upstairs in Ithaca. And this man's name is LeRoux, no relation to Lash LeRoux of Hollywood. It's Matt LeRoux.
That's right.
And this is the meat locker.
That's right.
And behind us is a freezer full of meat. And this is where the mafia put all of their old dead people when they froze them up, right?
Almost.
Almost.
Yeah.
This is a tourist site.
Neither that either.
Tell me what you really do.
Absolutely.
Why are we here in the middle of this dingy, terrible place?
Why are we hanging out in the
And
basement?
why are you here? And what business have you got in the meat locker?
Sure.
And it's all for free, isn't it? Or
no, we rent.
Non-profit.
It's a non-profit organization, and we rent freezer space to consumers because we want to encourage them to buy their meat from local farms. And the best way, the most affordable way, the most profitable way for the farm is for the people to buy it in really an old-fashioned way, which is quarters, halves, and whole animals.
Any particular animals you like more than others?
Well, I think beef is a great way to go because, you know, I have a family of 4. I buy a quarter of a beef every year from a local farm, and it feeds my family for a year.
Wow.
Very affordably. So I'm a big fan of buying beef. You could buy half a hog in the same respect.
No cats and dogs.
No cats and dogs. Let's see. Some of the strangest things we've ever had in here were some beehives.
Beehives?
And someone wanted to freeze their beehives to kill off any other insects in them. And we've had a few other strange things in here. As far as I heard, yeah. So we rent consumers containers, like the ones that are stacked up behind us.
And how much is it?
For the small container, it's $3 a month, and for the large one, it's $5 a month. So again, our whole purpose with the Finger Lakes Meat Project is to encourage people to buy from farms, and we don't want to be something that gets in their way, so we keep our rents, you know, artificially low. I just want to mention there's also a meat locker in Corning, and so we have one in Ithaca, one in Corning, and we're really hoping to help people buy from local farms by providing that service.
That's really a very nice thing to do aside from being nonprofit. And do you make money at all?
No, we write grants to support our real costs.
Is it expensive?
The freezer was all paid for by USDA, and yeah, it was pretty expensive, but our biggest cost is probably our staff time coming down here and working on it. But again, you know, it's worked very well. We know we've increased the sales of local meat through this project. We've seen the results. Starting in April of 2014, we first turned this freezer on, and by December it was completely full, and 25% of our renters were first-time local meat buyers. So we know we were getting more people to buy local, which was always our goal.
You've got a big family. What's your favorite meat?
Well, yeah, like
what
I
do the
say,
kids like most? Besides
anything
hot dogs.
ground. You know, if you buy a half a hog, you can get sausage, right? That's ground. It's easy to cook. Kids eat it really well. If you get a quarter of a beef or a half a beef, then you get ground beef. Kids like burgers. They like taco meat. So the ground stuff is the easiest for families to prepare.
You've got it all figured out.
Somewhat. I've been doing local meat for quite a while now.
Were you one of the founders of the group?
Yes.
Where'd you come up with an idea like that?
The origin, well, first of all, we all know that meat lockers have been around for a long, long time. They were most popular in the 40s. They were in our local communities in Watkins, in Bath, here in Ithaca.
That's the hum you hear behind us is the meat locker staying cool, the freezer.
That's right. So I knew that service had existed in the past, and then I was doing research on the ways that farms sell their meat and which ones are most profitable, and came across this direct-to-consumer quarters, halves, and whole animals is the most profitable. So I wanted to try to create more business in that individual channel. and that's how we came up with this idea.
Now it's a big business.
Well, the one in Corning has more room. It's a little bit underutilized, so we hope some of your folks that are seeing this will think about calling a farm, ordering something up, and they could use the Corning locker if they need to.
There are a lot of great farms in the area of Corning.
Yeah.
And Bath.
Exactly.
And even Hammondsport.
We're blessed here in the Finger Lakes to have a lot of grass, and that leads to a lot of livestock production.
Do you have any trouble from the green people? I call them Green Party or Green People or whatever. The people who don't want you to eat meat.
No, we've never run into that trouble, and I like to think it's because we're really promoting an alternative. We're asking people to source from local farms, and when you support a local farm, that money's going into your community. You're also supporting a local processor, possibly a local livestock trucker. So you're really spending money on things that you need, but you're keeping all that money in your local community, and people tend to feel good about that. And thus, I think they haven't really come after us over the meat issue.
So it's a kind of a win-win-win situation.
It helps out all sorts of people.
Tell me, what do you do in real life?
I am an agricultural economist.
Really?
So
you're a mental wheel.
I study the way that farms sell, and when I see something good, I try to figure out how we can get more of it to happen, and that's how this product.
Do you work for a college?
I work for Cornell University Cooperative Extension.
Ah. How did you get that?
Well, how much time do you have?
You've been at this a long time.
I have here in Ithaca, and before that in New England. Looking at the plight of the small farm, and I see how local foods is really a solution.
Well, the Cornell Cooperative Extension does a lot of good work all over the place.
They do. They're teaching people nutrition, cooking, and they're working with local farms to improve their skills.
And you'd been associated with them for how many years?
I've been with Cooperative Extension since 2008. And if we want to go way back, I went to Elmira College.
Did you?
In the 90s. So that's why I said, how much time do you have?
I'm an honorary trustee of Elmira College.
All right, well, I'm an alum.
There you go.
Good to meet you.
He's going to sell me meat now.
That's right.
I know that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's so nice to meet you, and I think you're doing a great project here. You can save a lot of money. Call them. Did we give the phone number?
You can reach us at thefingerlakesmeatproject.com, or you can call our office at 607-272-2292.
What have you got that's available to sell, or do I have to buy it someplace else and bring it to you?
You got to buy it from the farm and bring it to us.
Bring it to you.
That's right.
I'll be busy in a little while now. I have to go and see the farmer.
Thanks
again. Bye-bye. See you soon.
Bye.
Goodbye from the dungeon.
Around Town with Henry Dormann will return in a moment.
News happens every minute of the day. When you see news happening in your area, call the WENY tip line or email the newsroom directly at news36@weny.com.
Strawberries? Okay.
Your Marine Corps' way of life is to defend the American way of life. every day. No matter where we serve, we take a stand for our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Life, it never stops moving. Getting from here to there. Managing long hours at work. Juggling a busy home. You need a bank that keeps up. That's Chemung Canal Trust Company. Bank online. Bank with our mobile app. Deposit a check with your smartphone. Open an account at Chemung Canal and bank with us anywhere, anytime. Chemung Canal Trust Company. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Breaking news, weather alerts, and more on the WENY live stream.
Some active weather alerts across the viewing area.
Rain was coming down sideways.
Keep up with breaking news and developing stories across the Twin Tiers.
400 people are being charged.
You're watching WENY.
WENY News brings you a live stream of our newscasts every day. Check out WENY.com/live and our mobile app. Visit WENY.com/live or download our app today.
We now return to Around Town with Henry Dormann.
I want you to meet Wendy Skinner. You know there's a famous Wendy in Peter Pan.
Yes,
but this one is the most famous one in Ithaca. And she runs a sewing, would you call this a sewing establishment?
We can call it that.
Well, you tell me all about it. SewGreen, which
Yes.
means that everything you do has to be healthy.
It's pretty healthy, Henry. It's
Tell
healthy.
us what it is.
It's
because
healthy for people.
You're surrounded here with all kinds of wonderful things, including samples, and you're going to show us everything. And you're going to, forgive me, I have to finish my thought.
No.
But you've got to say the address
Yes.
and the telephone number
Don't worry.
and the website
Yep.
and everything. So all
right.
I'm going to do is go to sleep.
Okay. All right. You doze off, and I'll take it from here. SewGreen is very healthy. It's healthy for people, and it's healthy for the planet. It is about sewing, but it's also about people. It's about young people and about children. It's a reuse program for sewing materials. We discovered that there aren't many places to take boxes of fabric or the things that mostly, I have to say, older women accumulate over a lifetime. I think almost everybody knows somebody in their family who has an aunt or a grandmother, or maybe it's your mom, who has just collected a lot of stuff that never got used. So we use the term reuse, but it's really things that have never been used. They've just been stored away. And like a lot of modern consumer products, older things can be better.
Like what you have behind you.
Yeah, I have just a few samples of things. People give us everything. This is a little, look at that.
This is
a little hand, I'm going to say, crocheted doily that somebody made, a million years ago. And it just...
What is tacking? Is that something like
tatting?
This? Tatting, yes.
I'm not, I don't think this is tatting. I think this is crochet. But yes, tatting is another kind of lace making.
I see.
Yeah, so we get a lot of things like this. We get vintage fabric from time to time. This is something that's called bark cloth, and it sure makes me think of my household in the 1950s when I was growing up. We had curtains that looked a lot like this.
Do they give you these things to sell, or do they?
It's all donated. We're a not-for-profit organization. We are under the umbrella of an organization called Sustainable Tompkins, which is very much about protecting the planet and about sustainability, living more sustainably. So that means people can donate things to us. If they donate a lot, it can be a tax write-off. Most people donate. We have to weigh it. That's the way things are measured in the reuse market. There's a less pretty term for this called landfill diversion, which means we kept it out of the dump.
Yeah.
So we weigh everything that people bring us, and then we calculate it, and we know that we're saving about 20 tons of materials every year from going to the landfills.
And if people want to donate, where do they call and who do they contact, and what's the number and the website?
Okay, we'll do that. So SewGreen, it's all one word with a capital G. That seemed like a good idea at the time. Yeah. Is at 112 North Cayuga Street in downtown Ithaca. We're very near the west end of the Ithaca Commons, which is all renovated now and very beautiful. The phone number here is 607-319-4106, and our website is SewGreen.org. We're a .org because we're a not-for-profit organization, not a .com. So SewGreen.org. And also, if you just Google or use your search engine and you type in SewGreen Ithaca, we'll pop up. We'll pop up.
But that's wonderful work that you do. I mean, you're saving a lot of not only things but money and helping people all at the same time. It's kind of a win-win-win thing.
Absolutely. And what we found, I want to show you one more piece. This is not vintage. This is from 1993, and I know that because it says so on the edge of the fabric, although it was Roman numerals, and we had to kind of puzzle that out. But this was made in 1993, and I think this is just adorable. And we are surrounded, this is our vintage corner, so we're surrounded by old quilt tops and doilies and vintage fabric. We've separated these out from the newer things. Excuse me. In another part of the store, we have newer fabric, and we arrange it by the fiber type. So we have all of the quilting cottons in one place and all of the wools in one place, et cetera, et cetera.
Was this your idea?
It was a group effort. It was a group effort. We're going to be 10 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But the cool thing about this is that we are a revenue-generating, not-for-profit that can still receive grants. So I have 2 grant requests out right now. One is to help pay for our teen workers. We provide jobs for about 15 to 20 teenagers, after-school jobs and summer jobs. About half of whom are from lower income families or multicultural backgrounds, and that's really the heart of what we do. But the reuse helps pay for the youth program. We also offer sewing classes for all ages. Children as young as 8 can come and learn to use a sewing machine.
That's kind of a dead art now, isn't it?
Not at all.
Really?
We wouldn't be here. Project Runway had a whole lot to do with a renewed interest in sewing. And also younger people, I want to say people in their teens, 20s, and 30s decided that why shouldn't they sew? Learning to sew skipped several generations, so that there's a whole raft of what I call young adults, people 20 to 40 who've never used a sewing machine. So they do want to learn, and they can come here to learn. I want to mention one other thing that we're applying for a grant for which we are applying for a grant, is we would like to become a bilingual organization, Spanish-English. Spanish-English, Español-Inglés.
Sí.
Because Spanish is the 3rd most frequently spoken language in Ithaca. The 2nd is Chinese or other Asian languages, and that would be pretty difficult for us. But a lot of Hispanics, Latinos have come to Ithaca to live, and we want to get to know them and be better neighbors to them. So if we get the grant, we're going to train all of the staff and the volunteers and the teachers. And, you know, we're not ready to hang out the shingle that says Hablamos Español, but maybe in a year or so we will. So that's what we're up to.
I failed Spanish in high school.
Yeah, me too.
Shh. Thank you very much.
I can say 22.
Yes, thank you.
Henry,
tres,
it's so nice
thank
to
you.
see
Tres,
you.
Huh?
22.
Uno, dos, tres.
Uno, dos, tres.
Sí.
Yes, 22 is 22.
Oh boy, it's terrific.
Like you
We
needed
always
to know
have fun.
that.
If
112 North Cayuga Street, downtown Ithaca.
And you'll be waiting for them.
Absolutely.
And I'll be sitting here with us, so come by. There's a beautiful sewing machine behind me. Is that yours?
That's a featherweight sewing machine that
featherweight.
belongs to a customer, and we're fixing it up.
You're into everything.
Yeah, we are.
See you here. It's a wonderful place. You should see what's on the walls. You'll never get out. Okay? Thank you. See you here.
You're watching WENY.